So of course, one of the most basic things to fabricating metal is drilling holes in it or punching holes in it. Today, we're gonna talk about drilling holes in it. For starters, you're gonna want a great drill bit. I love cobalt drill bits. They're the best, they're hard, they're tough. Splurge extra and get cobalt drill bits because it's worth the extra price, and you can still sharpen them on your own. They don't need any special sharpening tool or wheel. And you can see, if the camera focuses, how this has a center point, so it's self-centering, and it also has very sharp, nice lips on the wings of the drill bit. So you got to make sure that your drill bit is sharp and ready to go. There's no dips in it. If you're going to be drilling a piece on a drill press, which today we're going to be working with a drill press, by the way. This is a pretty basic machine seen in a lot of woodworking shops, so just about everybody will know what this is. This is probably a hair bigger than most people have in their garages though. This is a pretty nice one. Alright, so I have a 1/2 inch cobalt drill bit in here. It's new, so it doesn't have to be sharpened. I will actually show you our sharpener after this. Let's talk about RPMs. So depending on your drill bit size, the RPMs are going to differ, so rotations per minute. So if you have a smaller drill bit, you can go faster, and you have a bigger drill bit, you have to go slower. On most drill presses, they're going to have directions, or on this one, it's actually written inside. Go ahead and look inside of a drill press. Depending on how you sequence the belts and the pulleys, and you pick each one, you can make this head of the drill press spin faster or spin slower. So I already adjusted the belts and the tension and the pulley to go to an RPM that's in the ballpark of how fast you need to go for a 1/2 inch drill bit. Now, when you're working with harder drill bits like cobalt that are nicer, you can actually go a little bit faster than just regular high-speed steel, which is nice. I still treat it like high-speed steel drill bit though. From my experience, the slower the better, because otherwise you just burn up your drill bit. Also, you always want to use cutting fluid if you care about your drill bit's life span, so it can last long. You don't have to sharpen it as much, and it won't hopefully get a big chip in it. This is tapping fluid. You can use that too if you don't have any cutting fluid around. But anyway, this isn't used enough in shops. Use cutting fluid. So if you're working with a little piece like this, you definitely want to hold it with a vice grip. You don't want to just hold it with your hand. Hold it firm. I already punched the holes in this plate, so I know where I want to go. Again, this has a self-center on the bit, so it drills really nicely. I'm gonna put some D on here. After it starts smoking a little bit, I go ahead and put some more in there. And people have different techniques. When I was in machine class, he more taught us to drill like that. It's called pecking. So you're gonna move the head up and down. Once you see that it has a piece of metal, you just pull it out and then you go back in. So that pecking motion is what he likes to do. Everybody has different styles, a little bit different styles. The main thing is you just want to drill a hole in a decent amount of time that's accurate, that doesn't break your drill bit or dull it overly. I mean, of course, any kind of cutting action is going to be dulling the bit over time. So again, you can go faster, you can go slower. I'm usually pretty conservative about time, speed, and fluid at this point because I've broken many bits. And especially these type of bits are not cheap. It's better just to spend a bit more time and make sure that you're not rolling it or injuring the drill bit. Here's the finished piece. You see it's clean, looks nice. Use cutting fluid or you're going to destroy your drill bits. Just like you could destroy that like button down below. I want you to just hit it right now before you forget so you can help the YouTube algorithm and YouTube will know you like this video, thus it can show other people. There's different ways to sharpen drill bits. You can do it by hand on a grinding stone with a little guide tracer that you can look at the angle and match it up and make sure your angle of your drill bit lips are correct and all that kind of stuff. That's super old school. And then there's machines that make that process a little easier for you. When it comes to a commercial manufacturing shop, aka us, it would be in our best interest just to have our larger drill bits a 1/2 inch up, just to go have them professionally sharpened, because we have talked about earlier in this video how the drill bits, especially cobalt, are more expensive. So just go have them professionally sharpened if they're big. If they're smaller, larger machine shops will just throw out the drill bits. And even if they're larger, they might just throw them out because they've put it in their cost, and once the drill bit life is up, it's more cost effective just to throw it out and buy a new one than to pay somebody to sharpen it, whether it's their own employee per hour or a third party that they hire out. In our case, we sharpen our own, especially the small ones, because those are used the most and they give out. So this is the Drill Doctor. This is the 500 version. Pretty nifty little machine. It's not too complicated. It's not too industrial either, but it gets the job done. And I do highly recommend it. When the wheel works, if the wheel gets dull, we just replace the wheel because it was all used up. If the little grinding wheel in here gets dull, it doesn't work anymore. It just messes up your drill bits. But when it's sharp and there's a lot of grit left to the wheel, it actually works really good. For this particular sharpener, the max size is a 1/2 inch drill bit. So let me show you how the Drill Doctor works. So we're going to line up this notch in the 118 because we want 118 degree. That's a pretty basic drill bit lip angle degree size. I'm going to tighten it down, so I'm pushing it up against this backstop, and then these little weens are lining up the drill bit correctly, and then I'm twisting and locking the drill bit in here. So it's like a little cup that wraps around the bit. I'm going to lock it at 118, so you can pick here. We have a 135, so that's a less steep angle, and then we have a more steep angle. If you were doing a super hard metal like stainless, you could go at a less steep angle. Okay, then I'm going to turn it on. Now I'm going to take this white line and line it up, and I'm just going to twist. That looks pretty good. All right, so look at that new shiny top of the drill bit. And then we can see the lips from here, how straight they are, how there's no dents in them or nicks. And it looks pretty good. So now let's clean up the centering tip of this drill bit. And luckily, with the Drill Doctor, you can do that as well. So we're gonna go into the side, we're gonna line up this white line with this niche, and we're gonna turn it around, line up this niche. So what you just saw me doing just now, sticking this into the side of the grinding wheel once I'm done grinding and resharpening the top of the lips of the drill bit, is I'm making the web, the center of the drill bit, thinner. Because if it gets too fat due to extended use, it is not going to center itself as well, and it's not going to drill as easily. Because basically how a drill bit works is it starts from the center and works its way out. So if your center is fat and then dull on top of that, it's not going to want to start and drill holes nice at all. So keep that web thin enough and keep it sharp so it can start your hole and not wander on you. All right, so hopefully you guys learned a bit today about drilling the drill press, drill bits, and sharpening your drill bits. Again, there's a lot more information on these topics, but this is just a quick overview. Hopefully you found it informative. And if you did, or if you like this content, I'd really appreciate the thumbs up or comment below, or both. Or follow me on Instagram @MathPazo. Thank you.